take the pulse of the community to see what the response is. We have some offered online, some in small group classes at the center. We are partnering with VPA to do a little drama workshop right now, which has gone pretty well. It just started last week. So again, we're working with kids who are getting pretty adept at social distancing and wearing masks and all of that. Still not doing any singing or musical theater or anything like that, but we are exploring new ways of doing arts education. The center is also participating with the community with some blood drives coming up, so it makes me excited to use the building in those ways that we can serve the community. So we have a blood drive coming up on October 29th, and we have 2 blood mobiles in our parking lot in December. So those are the main things. And what is going to be of interest to you all is we have the big great Halloween window painting contest coming up, which I guess was a thing back in 2004. I know Kristen has filled us in on the history of that a little bit, but we've got great participation from local businesses. We're trying to partner with Main Street and our small business friends in our neighborhood, and it's in lieu of the big, crowding of the sidewalks with kids trick-or-treating that we usually have downtown. So instead of that, we're trying to offer something that allows for spacing and brings some joy and some art to our neighborhood. So that is what we were looking forward to. And Casey, who's just coming in, would like to, let me see. We are hoping to do a window that is cultural arts commission based. So hi Casey, you just came in, but Casey has volunteered to help head that up, and we can talk more about that in other, or we can to give Casey a chance to catch your breath. But we're excited about doing what every arts venue in the world is doing right now, which is reconfigure and reimagine and just rethink how best we can serve. So that's where we are.
Sounds great. Yeah, let's talk about that in other, if that's okay. And Casey, and you can let us know all about the window plans. Shanda, were you able to get the Tualatin Valley crates?
I'm
people you're working on it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Hold on.
And somebody may have mentioned this. Is Sean coming to the meeting tonight, or do I just not see him?
He's not able to tonight.
He's not coming. Okay.
Yeah, it was tentative, but he just said that he was not able to.
Got it. Would you like me to move on to the Friends of the Center update while we're waiting? Okay. So just a quick little update about the Friends of the Sherwood Center for the Arts. I just lost you guys. Oh, there you are. Oh, technology. Okay. We just met actually, and we are currently working on our end of year donation ask letter since we weren't able to have our gala. So that will hopefully be going out at the end of this month where people can donate, and they should be able to donate online, and it'll be nice and easy on our website. And besides the ask letter, we're working on doing a little bottle drive on a weekend coming up, or cans and bottle drive. We participate in something called Bottle Drop, which basically we collect cans and bottles, and all the money from that gets deposited into our nonprofit account. So it's just another way for us to earn money. So we're hoping to have kind of a mini can bottle drive in the next couple weekends. So we would love you guys to come to that if you have anything to donate and share it once we put it out on social media. And gosh, Shanda, can you remember anything else? We just had this meeting. My brain. I know there was something else. There was one other thing I wanted to tell you.
Yeah, I think
Was that it?
I think that's the gist.
Okay.
Yeah, you did good.
That's the gist. Okay. If I think of anything earth-shattering, I'll get back to you. But I think that's about it for now. So, moving on.
Can I ask a question?
Yeah.
So what kind of social media are we using? Just Facebook, or is there an Instagram or?
Yes, it's Instagram and Facebook. We actually have a Twitter, but
Okay.
we don't use it very much. But yeah, we do a lot. Basically everything that's shared on Facebook is shared on Instagram, and we do Instagram stories as well.
Okay, and is it Center of Arts, or is it a different handle?
Is it what? Oh, it is Friends of the SCA.
Okay, perfect. Thank you.
Yeah. Hi there,
Hi,
Shanda.
Razier.
Go take it away.
All right. Thanks, Sky. Welcome. I'd love to introduce you to Razier Sean, who's the director of Tualatin Valley Creates, and she wanted to share some of the exciting things happening in our area and some of the good work that Tualatin Valley Creates is doing right now. And I'm so excited to have you. I know that she shares this passion for creating a lot of momentum for all arts organizations in Washington County and trying to get that synergy to happen so that we can all become a stronger arts region. So welcome, Razier, and thanks for talking with us.
Yeah, thank you for letting me slide into your agenda. So I prepared a little slideshow just so you guys can see some pictures, but I don't know if I can share my screen yet. You guys ready for this? Here it is. Okay, you guys see the our logo on the top of it?
Yes.
Yeah, it looks great.
Okay, yeah. So for those of you who don't know Tualatin Valley Creates, we're the leading arts service organization for Washington County. And in that regard, we help represent artists, arts organizations, cultural institutions, heritage and humanity throughout Washington County, and our residents and our businesses, and really focus on the things that are happening here and the resources that our Washington County inhabitants need. So one of the things that we do to support our community is we have a really robust website. I'm going to share some details about that tonight. But ultimately, bringing the information into one place so that our artists and our business leaders and our legislators know where to go if they want to find things that are arts, culture, history, and humanities. I can't see everybody's pictures, but maybe by show of nods or yays or nays, are all your attendees, are you guys familiar with Tualatin Valley Creates in any manner?
Yes.
Yeah,
I'm on your email list.
fabulous. Okay, great. So let me get over here. So then for those of you guys who are familiar, I wanted to focus on our communication hub, which we call communication hub because it really encompasses everything that's online. So that's our website, our e-newsletters, so I'm glad you're getting them, and then our social media, which is extremely active. And what we do is we basically take any information from our website, we share via our e-newsletters and via our social media. And what that includes are, like I said, resources. So this is one of the really fun things, like even for things that you guys are doing in Sherwood, when you do calls for artists or you're looking for teachers for the center, or when you have performers who are doing things, or when we get back to doing more performances in person, when you're looking for actors or youth actors, we have a number of resources pages. And this, again, is very specific to Washington County. We recognize that we will not live in Portland proper's shadow. and that we are very unique and very special here. And so we want to highlight all of that. The other thing that we added to our communication hub is a directory, which was launched this last spring. This was in response to some of the feedback that we were getting from Hillsborough and Beaverton that their arts commissioners and counselors and art staff didn't quite know where to go to find artists. And so we said, well, we can create a directory. Let's help by creating like a white pages of artists and art service providers here in the county. And so this is another resource that I really want to share with you guys for the things that you're doing. We also use this, you guys have probably seen on our e-news or on our social media, we give away a lot of free listings in the directory. It's $125 for 12 months, but we give them away as perks to have people engage and correspond with our social media. We asked artists to donate to our fall fundraiser, which is happening this Thursday. And we were like, we're going to put you on the directory. Like, this is an asset that we can give you. And that's because our website has about 46,000 visitors a year. And that's really the benefit to being on the directory of somebody being listed on the directory. The other thing that Tualatin Valley Creates does is we host a lot of networking events. We are now in the rhythm of having networking events on a monthly basis. And Chandra, you were one of our co-hosts a couple months ago. And then we also do professional development workshops, all of which are based on a theme, very, again, specific to the arts and the needs of our local community. And we are also running an arts and culture leadership incubator. And the leadership incubator, we're going into our second year and we're about to confirm all of our faculty members, which is we had an amazing pool of applicants for our faculty this year. And the applications to be a participant in the program are open right now. With a deadline in December. And so it's free to be a participant, it's free to apply, and for those who do participate are eligible for a $500 stipend after completing all the workshops. And the workshops themselves will start in the new year and conclude with a showcase, which will happen in June of next year. So you can find all that information on our website. And what I'll do after I go through my pictures and slides is I'll put some links in the chat if you have a chat too. Can you guys still all see on the slide?
Yes.
And then the other thing that that I hope you guys are hearing about in the news right now is our musical benches project. I mean, anybody seen the KGW special they did last week? It was pretty awesome. So one of the other things, so TVC has been around for 20 years, and the other thing that we do is we really sit in the room with our civic leaders and encourage more arts access. And what that looks like is public art installations, and it looks like being in the room when they're starting to do redevelopment projects and saying, please leave open space for cultural gatherings, and please leave open space for festivals to happen, and put electricity and lighting and water in those open spaces. And one of the things that we worked on this last year was we worked with the city of Tigard for their outdoor museum project, in which they received all the funding but didn't necessarily have the staff. But Tualatin Valley Creates came in and helped do the administration of the calls for artists and all the way through getting the art installed and doing pictures and videos afterwards. We are currently working on a musical benches public art collection in which we're working with the cities of Forest Grove and Tigard, Beaverton, and then the unincorporated area of Cedar Mill by way of THPRD to do more public art installation. And this is already driving the idea of maybe doing even more. And if any of you know THPRD staff, keep tugging in there that TDC would like to be part of a more master plan that we could incorporate into the park system too. This is another thing that we do where we really try to put ourselves in the room to say that we need more public art in public spaces. We need more public spaces in our civic design. And so we love getting the feedback from the community, because then we're already in the room to help give that feedback to our legislators and our civic planners. This is just a little bit more about the musical benches. And again, I'll put some links in the chat. But what's so special about the musical benches is that this was, it's being supported by capital funds from Washington County directly. It's the first time that we've actually put enough money together to create public art that we'll own and install in these 4 different districts. And then it's a traveling collection, which means that these musical benches will be installed for 5 years and then they'll move to different places in the county. So when that time comes, I'd love to talk to you guys about having a musical bench in Sherwood. In between then, Swallows and Valley Creates will continue to fundraise so that we can increase musical benches all over the county and then ultimately someday maybe have a musical living room. And so all the benches themselves, as they were selected in this first round, they're all extremely different. The way that they play music is extremely different. They're all human. There's no amplification. It's all the way you touch them, plank on them, pull on them, and then the sound itself can be heard maybe about 10 or 15 feet away. They do that a cap in the decibels, but it's all completely engaging functional art. And then a couple of quick pictures to share with you too. So yeah, feel free to chime in. So these were the designs as submitted by the 4 selected artists. Judd Turner's piece being installed in Forest Grove, his piece is done and it's amazing and it's 7 feet tall and it's fire engine red. And the wishbone piece itself swings back and forth and hits the recycled canister. It's like a welding canister that's in the center. Van Dy's piece, which is being installed up in Cedar Mill, the unincorporated area, is done, and he's installing this Friday at 10 o'clock in the morning, so we'll have more pictures of it installed. And it's 2-sided, which is really neat because more people can sit on the bench and play with the bench. Matt Burney's piece, he's installing in Beaverton, operates like an old-fashioned music box, where you hand crank the side, and then inside of it, it has a tube with little prongs that will gently bang against aluminum tubes. And all of these artists have a recycled materials element to them. So when Matt Burney came up with his concept, he's actually using pipes and things that he had in the studio, and he fell in love with the sound because the pipes would fall and clank against each other. And so he's in the process of fabrication, he's been trying to develop to keep that sound quality pure. And then Jill Torberson is a Portland artist, and she is installing in Tigard's new Universal Plaza, which is another one of those big public spaces where TVC is in the room saying, splash pad, electricity, porta potties, line of sight. Like, here's a lot of things that are going to make your new public space amazing. On top of that, we'd like you guys to be our host for one of the musical benches. Yay. And then the other things I wanted to share with you guys, I know that you're probably volunteering your time to the max, but there's other ways that TVC is always looking for people to get involved, and that is to volunteer to help share your expertise, maybe if it's administrative expertise, helping with some data entry or phone calls. Forwarding our emails is also considered volunteering. And then we are looking for new members to our board. We're hoping to have representation from all over the county. I would love to have somebody from Sherwood. And you can be an artist, or you can just be an art lover, or you can be a business person who wants to make sure that the businesses are part of the conversation when we talk about the arts. So if you're interested in joining the board, it's a 3-year term, and I can send you more details about that as well. Or get involved by making a $10 donation. We've been doing $10 campaigns since last year, and we feel like that's a really easy way to help support the arts, to give up 2 coffees a week. And then finally, for everybody who's already getting our emails and following us on social media, this Thursday is our fall fundraiser party. And it's new for us. We're doing Instagram Live like many of our fellow organizations, so we'll be a little funky. But we will have live performances by Tico Gonzalez, who's a Cuban musician, as well as Hula Halua Ohana Holo'oko Dance School. They are doing dance classes, so they'll be broadcasting from their dance studio in Beaverton. And then a live poetry reading by Jennifer Kareem, who's been giving presentations around the county recently as well. And so you can watch from your phone or pull it up on your smart TV, which I highly recommend so you can see everything, or on your tablet as well. And links to all of that are on our Instagram and also on our website as well. What can I help answer questions about TVC and the things that we do, and just anything you might want to know about public art happening in the county. Did it stop sharing?
I think. Does anyone have any questions while she is here and live? I think we're all just stunned. No, I'm kidding. Yeah, I appreciate you sending that. And Razia did share that document with me, so that'll be part of our minutes, and we'll send that out to everyone as well. I may attend that virtual fundraiser. I'm really curious as to how that works, and I think I know we have a lot of public art discussion happening in Sherwood, and it's good to know what's happening in the rest of the county. So yeah, thank you so much.
Yes.
Thank you.
Yes, please attend. It's a great way to get to know TVC. We'll have a lot of people logged in at the same time, so everybody who's in the chat, very active in the chat. But otherwise, it's just like any other social media engagement, very casual. You can show up in your pajamas. Yeah, we just wanted to make sure that we stayed connected to our community, even in the absence of not having our regular events.
Thank you very much.
My pleasure. Yeah.
Thank you. And there are some really great professional development and leadership things happening through TVC as well, which I appreciate. So, all right. Thank you.
Yeah. Is it okay if I stay and listen in, or would you rather that I logged out?
I think it's okay procedurally, Madam Chairman.
As far as I know, I think it's fine. We are able to have guests, so I don't see why not. But Kristen would be the final word on that.
Yeah, no, that's fine. Absolutely.
All right. Thank you.
Yeah, thanks. Thank you again for the presentation. I love the musical chairs. That is really cool. Really. I will definitely be going to check those out, as many of them as I can.
I'll share some links in the chat so that your callers can access them too. Yeah,
that would be great. Thank you. Fantastic. Okay, well, great little presentation, and it looks like we have already done the Center for the Arts update and the Friends of the SDA update. There's no council update since Sean's not here. Do we have any citizen comment tonight?
We have not received any citizen comment.
Okay. Moving on to the discussion of the public art and murals plan. Right back to you, Shanda.
Oh, so I know that all of you here in this call share our excitement that this process is coming to good fruition, and it's coming to a close. When I say coming to a close, it's just the writing of the document that is coming to a close, which will hopefully be the launching pad for a lot of really exciting and substantive public art projects. So I did want to draw your attention to a few things in the document. And I know we've all been working really hard to get everyone's comments folded in and to make the changes that have been suggested to us by city staff as well. And I did send you the latest iteration. If you want to pull it up, you can. Kelsey, is this something that we can screen share, or would this be better to have people pull it up?
It didn't get on the website, so I think if people just pull it up.
Okay.
unless you have it on your computer and you can screen share it from there.
I am working on a tablet.
We're doing the public art master plan first.
Yes.
Yes. Okay.
Yeah.
Do you?
I could share it if you wanted to.
Yeah.
Okay. Great. Thank you.
Let's see.
You'll notice that some of it is just the formatting is just getting tighter. The page numbers are all in. There's almost done with all of the photo credits, which is great. You'll notice the cover photo is by our very own Casey Chen. So that is noted in the document. And does everyone have it? Or is it being shared?
Yes.
Thank you, John.
Welcome.
Awesome. So there are just a couple specific things in there I wanted to draw your attention to. They're small, but worthy changes to note. We did run this past our city manager, and Joe was very happy to see it and has taken a great interest in making sure that it is as effective and clear as possible, and I really appreciate his feedback. A few things that you might notice there on that first page that John has up, great, under the acknowledgements, it's just categorized a little bit differently, making it a little more clear. Oh, is that the latest one that I just sent?
Yeah, it's the one I just downloaded today.
This doesn't look like the most updated one.
It says 9/21. It's what was sent earlier today.
Yeah, it does. And this is what you sent on Friday as well, Shanda, or was it Friday? But I don't think it's the most updated one.
Yeah, there was one that was sent.
Yeah, this version's saying 9/21.
So right before this meeting tonight, she sent out another version.
Okay.
So it just came at like 6:30.
Yeah,
Okay.
let me look and I'll shut this down.
Yeah, got you. Got it. Okay, there we go.
Okay. I'm just going to talk through. If that's good. All right. Thank you, John. And I want to say I appreciate everyone with their comments and feedback, and there have been a lot of eyes on it this week especially, and I just appreciate all of that. So you'll notice there's just different categories of acknowledgements, just tightening that up a little bit. The next change of note that I wanted to bring up is on one thing. We're just de-emphasizing something that I think the commission was emphasizing at one point, which was the fact that Sherwood is one of the only communities without a public art plan. And instead of making that a huge point, because this is our public art plan, we just folded that in on the bottom of page 7 and folded that backed in a little more softly and made it part of our reason why we're doing this art plan. So on the bottom of 7, it's just worth noting that's a bit of a change
Interesting.
that is folded in, so leading into the natural next step, which is creating this viable plan for public art. So I know that will be notable to some of you. There is also on page, let's see, on page 9 with the mission statement and core values, just making sure to really emphasize that those are the city of Sherwood's core values, and that's the city of Sherwood's mission statement, not just council mission statement and values, but those are set for the entire city. So just a slight nuance there. Page 12 on the roadmap to success. In our quest to make it as actionable and specific as possible, we did just add in specific years. So it says still year 1, year 2, year 3, but specified the calendar year in which those milestones are hoped to be, or specified the calendar year that those are to come to fruition. So you'll notice that slight change on page 12. The change that is most impactful on page 12, which is reflected throughout the document in a few different places, is just a slight language change, but it's important. You'll notice that year 1, milestone 1A, I believe the last several versions said City Council approves this public art plan, providing a path for public art in Sherwood. We just changed that verb to reviews. Based on feedback, that's a more appropriate verb, and I am happy to put that in there. If anyone has questions, please let me know. So that's reflected in year 1, milestone 1A, City Council reviews, and it also pops up later in the document on page 17, where we talk about the program guidelines, where under murals, it says policies and procedures will be developed and reviewed by the Cultural Arts Commission to supplement the public art master plan. I believe the old language said policies and procedures will be developed and brought to the City Council for approval. And so that, again, a slight but important language change. And I appreciate the feedback that we got for that. It also talks about this document. Before on page 17, it said this document will grow and be added to as the public art program grows. But instead, we're saying these program guidelines will grow, adapting as needed. We're actually not going to need to constantly update this document, but we will update the guidelines, and they will live online. They'll live on a dedicated website to the public art program, and we can flesh those out as needed and continue to develop the program guidelines, but the document itself will stay as it is. Does that make sense for folks? I'm gonna take that as possibly yes.
If you couldn't see us, we were giving you a thumbs up.
Oh, good. I can only see half of my nose right now, so great. If you want to turn to page 19, which is the conclusion, one thing that was really fruitful, which I appreciated feedback from Kristen about, I did talk with planning and talked a little bit this week about the 2040 comp plan and the language they're using, and just baked in some of that language here in our conclusion to make sure that, there's some agreement across planning and across comp plan and across public art plan, some agreement across, I guess, the city. So use some language there that is similar to language that they're using when they talk about arts and culture in town. So I think it just gave the conclusion a little more oomph and gave it a little more substance, and hopefully will recall to people other language that they've seen in other city planning documents. So those are the main things. Like I said, it's tiny updates, but the language updates are meaningful to us as far as what we do next with the plan. And the next step for this plan, if we hear tonight, if you as the Cultural Arts Commission want to recommend this plan, it would be included in, we would send it to Joe Gall, our city manager, and then we would want to include it in a council packet for the city council to review and look at.
So clarification there, Shanda, they're not,
yes, thank you, Kristen.
it would not be part of a council packet necessarily. It's just going to be shared with them for feedback. Not part of a council packet, but just emailed to them directly. It would only go in a council packet if we were looking for action on it.
Great. And we're not asking for money, and we're not asking for any change of code or anything. So
right, it would just be, it doesn't need to be a resolution before them. We just want to make sure we're sharing the information.
Great, thank you.
I think it's looking great. I just have one question, and it's about the change that you mentioned in the beginning about softening the language about Sherwood being the only city of our size to not have a art plan. How did that come about? Just curious.
So I can speak to that. That was just suggested when we shared it with Joe, our city manager, and he was just saying we're moving forward with this plan. Right now it seems kind of negative to be focusing on that, and this isn't a letter to council asking for support. This is a planning document. So focusing on moving forward and the fact that we are indeed in the process of the plan, he's like, I don't know why we would be necessarily drawing attention to that, and that it didn't seem necessary.
Okay, that makes sense when you put it that way.
Right.
And I guess
if it was like a letter to them and we're looking for, trying to convince them of something, that would be one thing, but it's more of the background information of why this is necessary and the fact that we're taking a step moving forward.
Yeah, okay, great. Thank you for explaining that. And I guess that's a point that we can just keep in our back pockets if we need it for, trying to convince of other things in the future to do with the plans. So, okay. Thank you.
Right. Yes. And I guess how I took it too is, again, it was just, we would no longer fall in that category. We now have a plan, and it's more, I think we'd want to focus on other things like percent for art programs and other opportunities to raise funds and, look at cities and other examples of how they've supported the arts, not necessarily focusing on if we have a plan or not and how far behind we are. Because I don't think, we are definitely have a lot of work to do, but I don't think that we're as far behind as we think, and we just need to kind of get our ducks in a row and get organized. But I think we're going to be able to pick up steam pretty quickly and make some great progress.
Great. Thank you.
And I think that, that reflects a little bit of where we, to me, it reflects a little bit of where we are now. I think when that pull quote was emphasized, hey, Sean.
Hi.
When that pull quote was I remember there was discussion in this group around needing to convince, and I think we're not in the same place that we were of needing to convince the council of the importance. So that was a note that I was glad to get, and that's kind of the background of that.
Great. I'm glad we did keep that fact in there though, because it is it is a fact. So, but yeah, no, I understand to tone it down a little bit.
Does anyone else have any questions about these changes or the latest iteration?
Yes, I see that you annotated all the photographs. And where is the listing of that? Is it in an appendices somewhere?
So Kelsey is doing that
Oh,
hard
okay.
work. And I think it's just not quite done yet, but she's almost done, and it's a lot of detail to go through, but that will be in there, probably in the page that is intentionally left blank right now, so that we can easily go, oh, what was that on page 10? What is that great piece of art that we see? And it's a mix of, as you guys know, it's a mix of local and international and art from all over the world that is pictured in here. But that is almost done.
I just want to chime in and say this is really exciting. So exciting, you guys.
Thank you. We're excited.
We are very excited.
Yeah, quite
It's been
excited.
a long time coming.
So there was, well, I'll just let it open it up for one more second. Does anyone else have any thoughts or last minute? I feel great about this plan, frankly, and I know we've all put time in over the last few years figuring this out. This feels actionable. It feels smart. It sounds like us more than it did a while ago. I think it looks great. Thank you, Kelsey. I think it reflects the best of Sherwood. I'm open to any last comments. Okay.
If we don't have any, do we need a vote to, what are we voting for? To send this to the city council for feedback? What are we specifically voting on?
I believe, and Kristen, clarify please, but I think we're just, do we recommend this document? Are we recommending?
Yes. Yep. Yeah.
Great.
So are we recommending the public art master plan for Sherwood?
Yes.
Is that how I would say that, or would I say something different?
No, I think that you can, you guys could even approve and recommend the new Sherwood Public Art Master Plan. And then that way you guys are kind of accepting it, acknowledging it, approving it in its current state, and then recommending it to the city council. And as I mentioned, what will happen is we will actually send that to them and share it with them so that everyone has a chance to review it. It won't necessarily need to go before council in a formal setting. It doesn't necessarily need a resolution. It's us sharing with them all of the hard work that you guys have put in over the last couple of years working on the document, and just seeing if they have any specific feedback. But really it's just the sharing of your work.
Okay. Well, I believe we're ready for a vote. I feel very comfortable with it as well. Is everybody ready to vote?
Yes.
Yes?
Yes.
Okay. So all in favor of approving and recommending the new Sherwood
Okay.
Public Art? Yes?
I need a motion and then a second and then a vote.
Okay. Okay.
So you
So-
can motion if you want.
You can move to recommend and approve. Yeah, recommend and, yeah.
Can I or does somebody else need to?
You can, and then someone else can second, and then call for the
Okay.
vote.
Okay. Well, then I will move to approve and recommend the new Sherwood Public Art Master Plan, and to share it with the Sherwood City Council.
I second the motion.
All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? And it looks like it is unanimously passed. Good job, everybody.
Hooray!
Yay! That's
Everybody,
very
let's add
exciting.
all of the photo credits and then send out a final PDF to you tomorrow. I have all the information. I just need to copy and paste it.
Thank you, Kelsey.
Awesome. So exciting. Thank you so much. So when would this be, when will it be shared with the city council?
We just need to draft an email and get it to them as soon as we have the final PDF. So I anticipate that would be done this week.
Awesome. Will you just let us all know when it happens, just so we can be excited?
Yeah.
Thank you. So I lost my agenda
Yeah.
again.
Well, there was a little, I did want to touch briefly on the murals plan.
Okay.
We did have a question that was put to you all about the one sentence in there that just seemed a little anemic about artist selection. And what we were trying to say is that we are trying to encourage diversity in both the artists who are applying and the type of art. And I sent 3 options to you all, and it sounds like the option that resonates with people the most was number 2, which is we would put this sentence in the murals plan. The Cultural Arts Commission is committed to promoting equal opportunities for all and encourages applicants from all backgrounds and experience levels to apply. All artistic styles are welcome. And it's a little more robust than what is in there now, but it doesn't go into the full specifics that number 1 and number 3 went in.
Yeah.
But I think that's our feedback is that number 2 language.
Definitely agree with that.
Okay.
I just realized I never responded to your email, but
It's okay.
we were all on the same wavelength because I did not love calling out everything, and I feel like number 2 says what we mean, but maybe in a little bit more generic way.
I think it's important that we state what our commitment is, and which is a little more robust than what is encourages on there right now. So yeah, it states our commitment, and it encourages all to apply. I think it does what we want it to do. So that language will be changed. I think the next step for the murals plan and the public art plan too is once we have these documents, we want to have them live online so they're accessible to anyone who is interested in, making a mural project happen or putting forth an idea. So we want them to live in a place that is accessible to everybody. And then the idea is that we could have, I think some of the questions that were brought up last meeting could be put in an FAQ of sorts online that we could add to, and would be helpful for people who are considering whether to commence a mural project. Any thoughts about that? There were questions about like how much does an average mural cost, things like that, which I would love to have accessible for people, I guess, in a frequently asked questions section.
Yeah, I think that sounds great.
Okay.
I think she has a question up top there.
Who's got to confirm that scene?
This is Ravi.
Hi.
So a question, just sidebar, maybe it's on a different page, but will there be, if a private property owner wants to have their own mural artist do a mural on their wall, will there be an application fee, and then does the design still get approved by the Arts Commission before it can be painted, or can they move forward with having it painted at any point? Is that all in here?
I can hardly hear. Does someone,
are
you asking if there's a fee?
Is there a
to
fee?
apply?
Correct, yeah.
There is not a fee to apply.
And then does every mural, whether it's funded by the city or not funded by the city, need to go through an application process?
Yes.
The design is reviewed?
Yes.
Yes. And the content of the mural will not be reviewed. It's more, the criteria has to do with sign code and plans, and that's in there. I can't see what page it is right now. But the Cultural Arts Commission will not dictate content.
Got it. Great.
So
Yeah.
Hi. So, yeah, this is looking great. I'm trying to find, I'm looking at it on my computer, but last time we discussed some type of language, gosh, I can't remember now. Yes.
Yeah, language around, maintenance
and just making, if there was any issues, just something in place. We were going to add some stronger language for that.
Yeah.
And
you know what? I need to send that, and I need to send that update. So there was, under the maintenance portion, I did add a sentence just about the area around the mural. So I think we were worried about, it's one thing for the mural to get painted and have a nice UV graffiti coating on it, but also access around that mural to make sure vines aren't growing up and sidewalks aren't damaged, and making sure that the access to the mural is also kept in good repair.
Mm-hmm. Gotcha. Okay.
And it's still the standard that we're asking folks to commit for a 5-year period to keep it in good repair and to keep the area around it in good repair.
Okay. Just so there is some recourse if we need it for something.
Yeah.
Not that I'm anticipating that, but
Yeah.
okay.
And we have, it's interesting looking at other cities. I do find that the larger the city, the more robust and detailed it gets. We're trying to strike a balance too, to invite people to participate in the murals program and not I anticipate a lot of conversations, I guess, in a town our size, where we really need to make sure it's a good fit and the expectations are laid out very clearly. But I'm trying to not overwhelm, I guess, with the language. But there is more language about keeping the area around it in good repair and keeping the access.
Great.
Is there anything else that still needs more detail or more strengthening to folks?
So where are we on the murals plan then, Shanda? Is it pretty close as well? Is there?
Yeah, we will. All we're doing is changing the mural selection criteria down below, adding that sentence that you all liked the best,
Okay.
the number 2 option, and then there's a sentence, and it's added in 2 different places, and I'll send that out to folks tonight. There's 2 places where it refers to access with maintenance.
Okay.
But the rest of it is done. I know some of the photos are, I know we were talking about changing some out to a higher res photo, but I think the language and the layout is most important at this moment.
So is this going to accompany the public art master plan, or is this going to be separate?
Kristen, what's your gut there?
So I think they're 2 separate documents. They could be emailed together if they were both ready, but I think you guys need to see the final language unless you're going to say what page it is and what's been changed. So I'd rather have you guys be approving a final copy, obviously. So
that's good.
I think that doing the one, if we don't want to hold it up, and then following up soon with the murals plan works. Or if you want to wait, then that's fine, but they are 2 separate documents.
And it is on it's listed in our public art master plan under the program guidelines, I think on page 17. It says the Sherwood Murals program. I mean, it mentions it on that page, so it is making clear that it's a separate document. It is the first of the program guidelines that we've completely fleshed out.
Okay.
And our hope is to do that to all of those guidelines on page 17.
Sounds good. Is this something we can approve over email, or does it have to be at the next meeting?
We cannot approve anything over email.
Okay.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
So it will have to wait until we can meet again. Unless you have a version that you can be emailing to Shanda, or Shanda, if you have a version you can be emailing right now.
Let me see if I can do that real quick.
If those are the only two changes and it's done, I guess I would say.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, and don't feel, I don't think we have to be in a rush about it, but if you are ready, great. If not, that's fine.
Yeah.
Do we
Well,
want to
can-
just,
What if we table this while I find this latest version? And I'm just going to add option 2 language since that sounded good with everyone. Do we want to move on to the next?
sure. So basically we were gonna have other, do we want to have Sean give us a quick cancel update since he joined us?
Great.
If you guys are cool with that, I can do that. Yeah, so let's see. We have a work session planned for tomorrow night, not a full council session. We will, based on popular demand, be discussing the Alfresco program down in Old Town. It was originally scheduled to end in September. We extended it through the end of October, and now there's been a bit of a surge in interest in seeing if we can extend that out even further. So we're going to have that discussion tomorrow, as well as talking with our federal lobbyists in Washington, D.C., who is going to give us an update on the work that they're doing on behalf of Sherwood. It's a group that we work with. I don't remember how long ago we started with them, 2 years ago, maybe. So they're just kind of our eyes and ears out in DC to, find the money that might be helpful for us. So they're a good group to work with. And we do not have a council meeting on November 3rd, which is election night. We kind of moved our schedule around. We figured that nobody would be paying attention to anything on that night. So we decided to not have a meeting that night. So our next regularly scheduled meeting will be November 17th. So just with elections, just in case anybody hadn't heard yet, the ballot box is back behind City Hall now. It was gone for a while. There was a lot of panic. It's back. You can drop off ballots anytime. You can go to myvote.org, which is through the Secretary of State's website. If you've already voted and you want to track if your ballot has been received, it generally takes they're saying maybe 24 to 72 hours. So don't panic too much, but they're going to actually be picking up, emptying out that box daily now. And then through the election, and then on the final weekend of the election, they're literally going to have cars driving back and forth between the elections office in Hillsborough and Sherwood. I mean, literally just shuttling back and forth, picking up ballots. They emailed us today. They typically don't pick up ballots from the ballot box after the first weekend that ballots show up, but they had to come this weekend to pick them up because it was filling up already. So I think Washington County reported today that they've already got like 8.5% ballots returned already since they just went out. It hasn't even been a week yet. Yeah, I'm expecting a big turnout this year. So I think that's it. Of course, November 3rd by 8 p.m. So you have it dropped off by 8 p.m. in the box, or if you're going to mail, they are definitely recommending mailing it as early as possible. That's all I've got, I think. So, unless you guys have any questions?
Just question, what was that website you were talking about where you can see if it's been processed?
I believe it's myvote.org. It's through the Oregon Secretary of State. It's the same website where you would go to check your registration or to register to vote. If you just Google Oregon Track My Ballot, I think it'll most likely be one of the top ones that appear. So they are starting to catch up. I dropped off my ballot on Friday morning around 10 a.m. and I just checked about an hour ago, and it is now showing that it's confirmed. So they're getting caught up from the weekend, but they're saying generally they'll be picking them up daily, trying to process them the next business day. But give it at least 72 hours to be received and scanned and run through their machine. It is important to check that if you're aware of how the process works with ballot validations is, as you know, and this is important, to sign the back of the envelope when you hand it in. There are some instances where if your signature does not match, they will attempt to notify you to have you submit another signature to validate your signature so your ballot can count. But I would be very proactive if I were you. Once you've handed in your ballot, I would check back and as many times as you can until you see that it's been received, just to make sure that everything is fine.
Good advice.
It's an important election. So
I shared that link in the chat, by the way, guys.
Oh, thank
cool.
you. Perfect. Yeah, thank you, Sean. I know I've been seeing a lot of stuff about the outside dining. So
yeah, that hit social media pretty hard here. I think starting yesterday, and we're probably up to at least 25 to 30 emails that we've received on that just today. So yeah, you know, it's we certainly understand the importance to our businesses in Old Town. It's not as cut and dry as just extending the deadline. So there's some sort of things that we need to consider. We want to talk to all the businesses down there to make sure that it isn't impacting everybody or too many people negatively. There have been some changes that have had to occur. We had to reroute the TriMet buses. And that was initially supposed to be temporary, but we've extended that already once. So a few things. There's some other just regulatory guidelines that need to be reviewed as well. So as much as we'd love to just, you know, make everybody happy, we need to do our due diligence on this. And so that's why we're discussing it tomorrow night. But we certainly wanted to get that onto the agenda prior to the October 31st current deadline that we've got for ending that program.
yeah, no, that absolutely makes sense. There's a lot, of course, more to think about. And also you're not ending it. This was when the deadline was already a predetermined date, right? When it was going to end.
Yeah,
So,
we had previously, when the program launched, it was supposed to end in September. I think the end of September was the original date, but due to the success and the warmer weather that we were seeing this fall, decided to extend it out through October. So I think it was back in September, I believe, that we announced the extension. Maybe September 4th is the date that comes to my head. So we had announced back then it was going to be October 31st. I'm not sure why nobody caught on to that really until now. It was on the city's, you know, social media. It wasn't anything that we hid from anybody. But yeah, I think some people just are suddenly now becoming aware of that date. So and it is something that, you know, I don't want to get too far out ahead of my skis here, but we found it to be very successful this summer. So, you know, there have been some suggestions, of course, to maybe consider it again next summer as well, even if we are post-pandemic. I think people love the European style outdoor dining idea, and so it had proved to be very popular. And I think it served its purpose of not only keeping those businesses afloat during this time, but it dare I say, kind of revitalize the Old Town area a little bit here. And you know, the push that we're obviously going for is a lot of foot traffic down there, and everybody benefits by having people walking around on a nice warm summer night after a meal and a glass of wine or whatever, you know. So it's a very popular idea. So if we could extend it, we'd certainly be interested in reviewing that again next year.
absolutely. Great. Well, thank you. Thank you so much for the update.
Yeah, sorry for coming in late. I had a conflict, had another meeting I was at the same time. Couldn't get out of it, so apologies.
No worries. Understandable. Glad you could come at the end. Perfect. Okay, well, thank you, Sean. So should we head on to other? Shanda, should we just go ahead and say we will approve the murals plan at the next meeting? So you don't have to try to rush and make changes.
I also, and I just realizing, I think our city manager should see it before.
Okay. Yeah.
Feedback is really important for this art plan, and I want to make sure we follow that.
Okay. Yeah. Let's just say we'll hope to approve it at the next meeting. And we will go ahead and move on to other, which as far as I know was just talking about the window contest. Is that correct?
Yes.
Casey, can you go ahead and get us up to date with that? If you don't mind.
Yeah, sure. I have a draft idea that I am going to create our commissioning members' face on the window with cute animal hats as custom for Halloween. So that's my idea for now, but what do you guys think?
Do we get to pick our animal? That's hilarious. So,
so cute.
You know what? Maybe you pick one photo for me and one animal for me, so I can do that easily.
So you are able to paint. So you're able to paint it.
Yeah, I think I can do that, but in a cute way, not real.
Yeah, that's amazing. So basically, it would be the Cultural Arts Commission in costumes, in cute animal costumes.
Yeah. That's my idea, but I open to other, recommendations.
That's hilarious. What does everybody think about that?
And Casey, did you want helpers? Did you want, I know there are people who would be willing to, like, I'm willing to help paint. I just cannot paint. Like,
if it's a color by numbers,
color in,
yeah. Can you say like paint this area brown and this area green?
I can do that, or you can do your own. You know what? I can have the outline for every people, and you can paint the color you want. I can do that.
I think this sounds great and hilarious, but I can't draw, so as long as it's you doing the foundation.
I will say that we made this event to really be a team building event, and so it would be great if more than just Casey wanted to come down and help. I mean, Casey does an absolutely beautiful job, but
And so can you tell everybody when it would be that to do the actual window painting?
So supply pickup is this week. You have to have all of your supplies picked up by Friday. Friday is when the painting starts. You have to paint Friday, Saturday, and be done by Sunday at 5 o'clock. All of the supplies are included in the kit. All of the painting will be outdoors. Leah and I will be going around and taping all of the windowsills for the businesses so that we can protect those. Included in your kit is like drop cloths and all of that. And then voting will start next Monday. So everybody from the community can come down and vote via a QR code that you can just scan at any of the windows, and you can pick your favorites. And those will all go into a thing. And we're also having 3 judges. One will be Robin Folsom, Greg Jaycott, and some Maid Marians. So they're going to go around and judge all of them. In the end, on Halloween, we'll be announcing the winners at noon. So all of the ones that the judges pick, the businesses that win will get trophies. The people that painted the windows will get medallions. And then whoever wins People's Choice, they get a gift basket with goodies purchased from all of our local businesses.
So I know, Casey, you had availability on the 25th. Is that a good time for folks to come and help paint? This is a great opportunity, as Kelsey said, to build our team.
Yeah, I'm having a really tight schedule this week, so I might only available on Sunday. Sorry.
That's fine. It sounds like the weather is good on that day too.
I think I could probably help on that day. But again, I just want to clarify, I have 0 artistic painting ability. So as long as this is Casey, you've got the vision and the overall plan, and then you can just say, do this. Is
Yeah,
that right? Okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
We said October 25th.
Yeah, October 25th.
It's like the only day that I actually have off, so that's awesome.
I'm good at providing snacks. I'll offer that.
Ooh.
Hey.
One of my.
Can I request apple cider donuts?
I mean, I do feel the need to support local small businesses as we attempt this team building.
I mean, beggars can't be choosers, but I'm just saying it's a good idea.
What is the time on Sunday?
I think I can be there early, like 9 or 10 o'clock.
Okay. So we do have Journey Church in the building. Oh, but we'll be outside. We'll be outdoors. So never mind. That shouldn't affect us at all.
How? Oh, go
Sorry.
ahead.
Yeah. Do you know which window we're gonna paint?
That is up to Kelsey. I think she has us assigned somewhere.
You're gonna do one of the corner windows.
So where the peace pole,
Yeah.
usually those corner windows. Yeah.
Okay.
Great visibility.
Yeah. Casey, do you have any idea of how long it might take?
I don't know. I don't know the window big size. How big is it?
Oh.
I have Casey, I can send it to you after this meeting. I just need to log on to something else.
Sure, no worries.
Okay. I know I can be there at some point. I'm just not sure. I need to check the soccer schedule. Anybody else? So John, sounds like me, John, Casey, anybody else?
I'm in.
Yay.
You wanted to do 9 o'clock, Casey? Is that what you said?
Yeah.
9 or 10?
Yeah, sure.
I would probably be closer to 10 just personally, if there's no soccer, but anybody
we might
else?
want to do it closer to 10 just to avoid folks coming into Journey at the same, like if we can just stagger that a little bit. I think they come in at 9:30, but if we started at 10.
I can do that earlier, like have the outline so you guys can come later.
Oh, yeah, that's a good idea.
Fill in the color. Yeah.
Okay. So Casey, just tell us what you need from us. Did you wanted us to send you pictures of
yeah, if you want to do a specific like hairstyle or whatever you want.
A glamour shot.
Yeah.
Okay.
And what kind of animal you want to do.
Okay.
Yeah.
So have all of us email that to you, but can you give us a day by which you would like that sent?
I think by tomorrow night. Okay. So I can have time to have the idea to come out.
Okay.
So once again, you just want a picture of us, not a picture of us already in a costume.
If you want, you can do it both.
Yeah, I think she just wants a picture of us that we like, and then for us to tell her what animal we like.
Okay.
Is that right, Casey? Yeah. Anybody else? Any other questions for Casey or anybody else able to join us?
One more question. Is this a full body picture or just a face picture?
Oh, good question.
Could be just face.
Just face.
So like, okay.
Like.
Okay. Fun. Super fun. Okay, well, Casey, thanks for heading that up. That's going to be a lot of fun, and hope to see everybody. So if everybody comes at 10, you think you'll have the outline done-ish? Okay. let us know if anything changes. But we'll plan on that. And do we have anything else?
I will send out the latest murals language and just make sure it works for everyone before we send it to our city manager. That's my
great. Thank you so much. Well, if that is it, then I think we can adjourn this meeting. Thank you all so much. We got a lot good productive meeting. And we'll see some of you on Sunday.
Yeah. Thank you, Casey, in advance for heading that up.
Thank you all.
Bye.
Bye. Bye.
Thanks, man.